Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Willow's codependency crisis. Are Nina and Carly fueling the fire? According to General Hospital teasers, Willow Corinthos believes she has made the decision to divorce her husband, Michael Corinthos. However, the leeway Nina Reeves stepped in and pushed for with Marty Gray tells a different narrative. Willow will tell herself that moving forward with Drew Quartermaine is safer as long as she feels like her marriage is in purgatory, because she hasn't completely divorced from the previous life she may try to return to. She won't have to let go of Michael until she finds a new, stable place to live, right? Perhaps, but the more Nina and Carly Spencer try to intervene, the more they may force her into Drew's arms. Willow has been codependent for as long as we've known her, and only Michael has truly recognized this in recent months. Willow hasn't spent much time on her own 2 feet without relying on someone else for support, from growing up in a cult with her mother as her only friend to forming an instant family with Michael, using Chase, falling for Drew's hero act, and now clinging to it in the aftermath of her marriage falling apart. Does she have what it takes to break up with Drew despite all of the warning signs that this is a poor idea? Spoilers gush. Nina and Carly push too hard with good intentions to make things better and persuade Willow to see the light. Carly and Nina may push her farther into Drew's arms by picking him apart and highlighting his every flaw. They'll perceive decreasing Drew as a method to encourage Willow to wake up, rather than helping her feel secure without him, because they won't recognize that the true issue is Willow's lack of security and trust in herself. The outcome could blow back in their faces, leaving them with an even more fractured family dynamic than before. General Hospital spoilers, fear is a strong motivator unfortunately for Willow. Growing up witnessing her mother, Harmony Miller, embrace codependent relationships left her yearning for the same. Looking back, it's surprising Willow would want to give her child up for adoption, but she did because she thought it would be safer for him despite the fact that it clearly left her devastated. The same concern that drove her to do what was best for her child in the past could motivate her to do the same for her children today. But who's to say what's best for them if Willow gets stuck in analysis paralysis and is unable to make a decision? The more Michael's family turns on her, and the more Nina agrees with them, the more she may believe Drew is her last safe haven. Will they lose her and the children forever, despite their best intentions? General Hospital spoilers, will Jocelyn join the WSB? According to General Hospital spoilers, Jocelyn Jacks will face a major decision, and Jack Brennan is depending on her joining the WSB. Will Jocelyn confess the truth about what happened to Cyrus Renaud, or will she do what Jax anticipates and run back to him? Is Jack Brennan really helping Jocelyn Jacks? According to spoilers, Jack may lead Jocelyn to feel he is covering for her when, in fact, he will frame her for murder. Of course, Jack may attempt to frame Jason Morgan for murder as well. Whatever the situation, Jack expects Jocelyn to coming back to him for assistance, and he wants her to believe it was her idea, not something he planned. Given all of this, Jack must be plotting something to entice Jocelyn to join the WSB, but it is a setup that he has arranged. How much pressure does Jack want to put on Jocelyn to join the WSB before threatening her if she does not search him up and request to join the WSB? Carly Spencer will be furious with Jack Brennan. Carly Spencer has no idea what Jack has been doing with her kid. However, Jocelyn was instructed not to tell her mother what had transpired. Jocelyn didn't understand why Carly couldn't know, especially when she and Jack had been dating for quite some time. However, Jocelyn agreed to be quiet. Things in Port Charles do not remain secret for long. It appears that Carly will be outraged if she finds out exactly what happened. Has Jack's effort to recruit Jocelyn put a stop to their romance before it ever began? Will Carly push Jack out of her life now that Cyrus' death is Jocelyn's fault? Jack Brennan kept the truth from Jocelyn. Jocelyn was furious to find that Jack knew Cyrus had murdered Dex Heller but did nothing about it. Of course, Jack had an explanation for not informing Jocelyn or anybody else that Cyrus was the murderer. Jack could have solved the case a long time ago. However, he decided to exploit it to test how far Jocelyn would go. Does Jack actually want Jocelyn to join the WSB, or is he planning something else? Jocelyn was intending to become a doctor, but it appears that her ambitions have changed considerably. Is this the right decision for Jocelyn, or is Jack forcing her into the WSB for a reason? Jack has never been the most honest agent. What does he intend to do with Jocelyn? General Hospital spoilers, was bringing back Lucky a abject failure? According to General Hospital reports, the critics have undoubtedly spoken. That's because many people believe that bringing back the character of Lucky has been nothing more than an abject failure. General Hospital spoilers, bringing back Lucky was an abject failure? Those who watched the most recent episode of General Hospital will know that Lucky has been struggling for his life while his family waits for an update on his condition. Many individuals have questioned if he can withstand a lethal dose of digitalis. Clearly, Lucky's life is on the line right now, but many reviewers believe he deserved a much stronger narrative than what the General Hospital writers have given him thus far. Of course, this tale sparked a lot of discussion on the internet. Some detractors even stated, bringing him back was an abject failure. They needed to give him a position in PC other than Luke/Laura's son, Elizabeth Sachs. He does not fit. Elizabeth deserves better, there is no chemistry. He needs to be a better father, as we will see. GH is shaping history. February sweeps, DUD. Another critic said, he can survive, but not with Elizabeth. Co-parenting is the better option here. Despite expectations, ratings did not increase with his reappearance. Please do better. No to Elizabeth and Lucky. General Hospital spoilers, what is actually going on with Lucky in Port Charles? And then there was this comment, I was glad Lucky was back, but if you're going to kill him now, what's the point of bringing him back? This storyline isn't just boring, it's ridiculous as hell. Will Jocelyn save Jason or herself? Jocelyn is going to discover the hard way that murder and cover-up have consequences. She has no idea that Jack instructed Colette to clean up the scene at Cyrus' hideout, but to leave one item behind. Jason is again back in the PCPD interrogation room after being freed just last week. Despite his strong desire to kill Cyrus, he swears that he did not do so. Diane wonders who would frame Jason for murder, as Jason attempts to figure out how to get out of this problem. With Sasha, Alexis, and Anna pleading with him not to kill Cyrus, as well as a visit to Sam's cemetery, Jason knew he couldn't make that decision and permanently alter Danny's life. Clearly, someone believes Jason is the first person they would accuse of killing a murderer. When Jocelyn discovers that Jason is now the primary suspect in a murder she committed, she goes to the PCPD and insists that Anna release him. Joss is certain that Jason did not kill Cyrus, but Anna is curious as to how she knows this. Stella has news. Stella was surprised when Curtis requested her to introduce him to a congressman she knew so he could make Drew's congressional life unpleasant. Stella returns to Curtis, believing she knows exactly how to assist. She has a plan to bring Drew down, but will it be through Congress, or will her friend Tracy help? Tracy has a recording that shows Drew's affair with Nina. Will she tell Stella everything about it? Stella had no idea that Curtis is well aware of Drew and Nina's relationship. Trina's fall draws Kai back to the Jerome Gallery this week, where they both paint while dressed in all white. They do, however, experience a close moment when Trina falls from a ladder and into Kai's arms, just as she fell down a ladder and into Spencer's arms at the same location. Will it all feel too familiar to Trina? 5 reasons Kelly Monaco should return to General Hospital. Let's just say that Sam McCall is greatly missed in the fictional town of Port Charles on General Hospital. 5 reasons why Kelly Monaco should return to General Hospital. Sadly, the character died at the hands of Cyrus, who has also since died, but that hasn't stopped General Hospital fans from campaigning to bring her back, citing how much they love and miss seeing actress Kelly Monaco on screen. With that stated, here are our 5 reasons why Kelly Monaco should return to General Hospital. Sam might not be dead. If there's one thing we've learned from the daytime television world, it's that you're never truly dead, even if the final nail is pounded into your coffin. Sam probably has a twin sister. This is a traditional soap opera twist, but it would undoubtedly put Kelly Monaco back in front of the cameras, much to the surprise and relief of the millions of fans she left behind. Sam McCall is a legacy figure, and you can't just get rid of him and expect no one to notice. Sam, Sonny Corinthos, and Sam's mother, Alexis Davis, all deserve to be back in Port Charles. General Hospital spoilers, what happens next in Port Charles? Kelly Monaco deserves answers to this day. No one knows why Kelly was fired from the popular ABC serial. She deserves answers just as much as the fans do. At press time, all we can conclude is that the producers fired her for personal reasons. Let's face it, Port Charles isn't the same without Sam. Her name keeps coming up for a reason. Everyone, from Alexis to Dante and even Jason Morgan, misses her. General Hospital preview week of February 24th, Jason framed, Jocelyn turns to Anna, and Kai catches Trina. General Hospital spoilers claim that a preview video clip has been released for the week of February 24th, 2025. It reveals that Jason Morgan was framed for murder. Jocelyn Jax turns to Anna Devane to assist Jason. Furthermore, Stella Henry has a plan to take down Drew Kane Quartermain. Stella Henry's brilliant idea during the week of February 24th, the preview video has Stella delivering some news to Curtis Ashford. Fans claim that on Valentine's Day, Curtis met with Stella at the Savoy. At the moment, Curtis requested Stella's assistance. Stella appears to have a strategy for achieving her aim. Stella informs Curtis that she has a plan for him to take down Drew. Fans of Kai Taylor and Trina Robinson should expect to see some romance. Trina Robinson is climbing a ladder at the art gallery. Trina almost collapses, but Kai is right there to grab her. The two freeze as they appear to be about to kiss. Of course, fans have enjoyed the slow-burning romance. However, there is a good chance that the intended kiss will be cut short in some way. With Kai having to defend his chemistry with Trina, it appears that this young couple may face further romantic issues. Jason Morgan framed General Hospital spoilers predict that Jason will be accused of Cyrus Renault's murder. During Danny Morgan's confrontation over Sam McCall's death, Jason issued a public threat against Cyrus. Jason even cautioned that Cyrus' body would not be found. In this week's preview clip, Diane Miller asks Jason who would frame him. Of course, Jason is unaware that Jocelyn is responsible for Cyrus' death. However, Jocelyn's background is convoluted and predates Cyrus' attempted axe attack. Will Jocelyn Jax confess? The final sequence in the weekly preview video is the most heart-pounding. Jocelyn confronts Anna at the police station. Jocelyn makes an appeal after finding that Jason is being held responsible for Cyrus' death. Jocelyn urgently informs Anna that Jason did not do it. However, when Anna questions how Jocelyn can be so certain, she freezes. Will Jocelyn reveal she is the one who killed Cyrus? Will Jocelyn cover and remain quiet? Or will Jocelyn accept Jack Brennan's deal in order to save Jason from prison? Which narrative are you looking forward to the most? Share your opinions in the comments area below. Weekly General Hospital recap February 17th to 21st, Sayonara Cyrus and LL2 reunite. Every Digitalis death has led to this startling twist. The case of the Digitalis killings concludes with a stunning twist, and the General Hospital recap for February 17th to 21st, 2025 includes all of the drama. What happened in Port Charles? Cyrus' reign of terror came to an end, which may have signaled Jocelyn's fresh beginning. While Elizabeth presented her discoveries about Cyrus to Anna, anticipating that they would be sufficient to warrant an arrest, Cyrus received a shipment of Digitalis to the cabin and filled a syringe before leaving. Jocelyn was also on Cyrus, and after persuading Trina to accept Kai's offer to take her out, she took out Dex's gun and prepared to travel to the place Brennan provided. Carly expressed her curiosity about Jason being Sasha's baby's father to Sunny while Sasha visited Jason at the PCPD. After encouraging him to pretend they were having something to keep the story that he was the father going, she planted a kiss on him for Mac to witness. Drew sent flowers to GH for Willow after meeting with Curtis, Jordan, and Laura to discuss the esplanade being built on the pier, a conversation in which Laura questioned Drew's genuine intentions. Instead, she was at the PCPD after finding out Tracy had her car removed from the mansion. On Valentine's Day, Brennan arrived at Carly's house, and things took an unexpected turn when a pipe burst. Brennan offered to mend it, which resulted in a messy situation. Meanwhile, Anna had to release Jason while pleading with him not to kill Cyrus. Lucky arrived at Elizabeth's house and was greeted by Aiden, his boyfriend Tobias, and a cake that his kid had cooked. After the kids went, Lucky and Elizabeth had a deep talk that culminated with him kissing her. However, when he failed to bring his slice of cake, Elizabeth answered the door and discovered Cyrus waiting there. Several couples celebrated Valentine's Day at the Savoy. Trina and Kai bonded with Curtis and Portia. Chase said he had a surprise for Brooklyn, and Spinelli arranged a date for Lucas with the Deception model. When the date didn't go well, Lucas and Brad ended up drinking together. The night concluded with Chase surprise his wife with a song. Cyrus made his way inside Elizabeth's home, where she was able to get a complete confession from him regarding the Digitalis murder. Lucky burst through the door just as he was going to use a syringe to silence her. The two men battled over the syringe until Cyrus inserted it into Lucky's leg. While Chase confided in Dante about his and Brooklyn's inability to have children, Brooklyn and Lulu had a disagreement over Lulu's employment, which quickly escalated into a personal one. When Dante arrived to break up the fight, Brooklyn stormed out, and he told Lulu that she and Chase had just discovered they couldn't have children. Drew took Willow to the Savoy for Valentine's Day, but their romantic evening was cut short when Curtis booted Drew out. Drew decided to bring Willow to his new home and unexpectedly invited her to move in with him. Meanwhile, Brennan had a romantic moment with Donna, while Jocelyn broke into the cabin to dig dirt on Cyrus. Cyrus escaped, but Lucky collapsed after being injected with Digitalis. Elizabeth contacted 911 and had Lucky rushed to GH, where Isaiah leaped in to save his pal. Meanwhile, when Cyrus arrived at the cabin and discovered Joss, he threatened her with an axe, and she killed him with Dex's gun before contacting Brennan for assistance. While Jason promised Sam's grave that he would look after her children, Willow declined Drew's offer to move in. Later, Jason arrived at Drew's new house, eager to discuss. Laura, Anna, and Jordan learned of Lucky's condition during a discussion concerning the new esplanade that will replace the pier, and everyone went to GH. Elsewhere, Brooklyn eventually admitted to Chase that she had been pregnant before, and Curtis requested Stella to introduce him to a congressman buddy so he could revenge against Drew. When Brennan arrived at the scene of Cyrus' murder, he promised Joss that the WSB would clean up the cabin and remove any proof of what happened. When they returned to his office, he disclosed that he knew Cyrus had killed Dex and had been feeding her clues before offering her a job at the WSB. After Lucky collapsed, they were able to revive him, and Laura, Elizabeth, Aiden, and Lulu remained by his side. Anna learned about the cabin, and she and Dante arrived to find it spotless. When Brooklyn made her huge admission to Chase, he was proud of his wife for making such a difficult decision at such a young age. Meanwhile, Jason attempted to persuade Drew not to separate their children, but Drew refused to listen. At the Q mansion, after some prodding from Tracy, Sasha acknowledged that Jason is the father of her child. General Hospital spoilers: Jack Brennan's dark secret, the killer of Austin Gatlin Holt, is revealed. General Hospital spoilers and updates hint that Austin Gatlin Holt's murderer may have just been revealed, and it's none other than Jack Brennan. There are overwhelming reasons to suspect Brennan was the one who took Austin's life back in November 2023. Austin's killer, a mystery. The mystery surrounding Austin's death has remained unexplained until now. While there were signs that Cyrus Renaud may have played a role in Austin's demise, it's possible that the show was intentionally misleading the audience. Austin was about to divulge his boss's identity and provide key evidence for an immunity deal when tragedy struck. Given that Austin was pushed into performing Cyrus' bidding, many fans suspected Cyrus was to blame for his death. However, this theory seems very simplistic. If that were the case, why has the program kept this revelation buried for so long? Cyrus as Austin's killer could be a red herring if the GH writers want to reveal Brennan as Austin's murderer instead. Colette Moreau led Brennan to Cyrus' hiding, but what if he had already secretly visited Austin's home? When the incident occurred, a strange man in dress shoes was seen on the site. Brennan's dramatic arrival into the cabin during the February 20th episode felt strangely similar to that moment. Jocelyn Jacks summoned Brennan for help, causing his quick arrival when he discovered Cyrus' lifeless body on the floor. Brennan was wearing dress shoes. Brennan's choice of dress shoes piqued our interest, much as the focus on Austin's lifeless body at the time. Some suspected Nicholas Cassadine. It's evident that Brennan went to great lengths to get rid of Austin, ensuring that some secrets would remain hidden forever. While he has always been charming, there is an evident darkness beneath the surface. Let us not forget that when Brennan initially arrived in Port Charles, he was more of a villain than a hero, attempting to kidnap Carly Spencer before being apprehended. In essence, Brennan is a man who can be pretty deadly when he sets his mind to it, and he has been expertly managing a web of dubious plans since the beginning. Brennan's had his eye on Jocelyn. Jax Brennan's hold on Jocelyn remains strong, as he continues to mentor her with the obvious purpose of bringing her into the WSB. Brennan is known for his cunning and hidden ambitions, and he keeps secrets that have yet to be revealed. Our speculation is that one of these riddles is tied to Austin's death, particularly if Brennan played a role in it. Will the series soon show Brennan as the person responsible for Austin's death? According to future spoilers, Brennan is going to take a more daring approach, so keep a lookout for any shocking outcomes. Here's how Jeff Kober reacts to Cyrus' death on General Hospital. Cyrus found his match in Joss, and it cost him his life. Jeff Kober, who plays the wicked Cyrus Renault on General Hospital, is opening out about his character's devastating death. After years of plotting, confusion, and an unexpected spiritual journey, Cyrus died in a dramatic final scene that Kober describes as one of his best on-screen deaths. Cyrus Renault, a villain fans love to hate, wrought havoc in Port Charles after his arrival in 2020. Fans were questioning the vicious drug kingpin turned self-proclaimed man of faith's every move. Was his newfound piety genuine, or was it just another form of manipulation? Cyrus put viewers on edge with his targeting of Sonny and his difficult relationship with brothers Martin and Laura. And don't forget the jaw-dropping moment when he was revealed as Sam's murderer, sealing his destiny in the soap's most recent surprise. I'll miss it. Kober recently spoke with Soap Opera Digest on his character's death, stating that he hadn't really digested the grief. Do you know what? I'm only now starting to digest it because I taped 5 episodes on January 15th, and on January 16th, I flew to India for about a month and had all of the experiences that come with traveling to India. I miss work, the people, and the process. I've got to tell you, I enjoy acting on soap operas. It's really dangerous for an actor to let go and allow the action unfold, and General Hospital provided me with the opportunity to practice that letting go on a daily basis, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And I'll miss it. Despite his departure, he couldn't help but compliment his final moments on the show. We had fun, and I have to say, I haven't seen it, but from being in it, I've died many times in many different storylines, and I think this is perhaps one of my best deaths. Goodbye, for good or for a moment. The actor also expressed gratitude for the freedom the Sudser allowed him as a performer. It's so dangerous for an actor to let go and let the scene happen, and I relished that, he told me. While viewers will undoubtedly miss Cyrus' menacing presence, it is evident that Kober is grateful for his time on the show. Could Cyrus come back from the dead? In the soap opera world, anything is possible. For the time being, however, viewers will have to bid goodbye to one of GH's most complex villains. Drew Quartermain's recent acts have left many in Port Charles and beyond wondering whether he can ever be forgiven. He was once a beloved figure, but he has since made a number of mistakes that have not only harmed his reputation but also estranged him from fans and characters alike. His relationship with Willow Corinthos has been nothing short of contentious, causing irritation among many who formerly regarded him as a man of honor. But is there any way for Drew to be saved, or has he crossed a boundary that cannot be undone? Drew Quartermain's fall. Drew was once thought to be one of the good guys, a man of integrity who stood by his ideals and defended people he cared about. He wasn't just another Quartermain playing power games, he was the balancer, attempting to rise above the instability that frequently consumed his family. That Drew seems like a faraway memory. His recent actions have depicted him as a manipulative and self-serving individual, especially in relation to Willow. He decided to pursue a love relationship with his nephew's wife, which raised many eyebrows. People were uncomfortable not only with the relationship, but also with how he handled it. Drew's relationship with Willow has always been one of mentorship and guidance. He was someone she trusted, someone she could turn to in bad situations. At one point, she even asked him to lead her down the aisle, demonstrating the fatherly or elder brother-like role he had in her life. But somehow, that link twisted into something quite else. Instead of adhering to the appropriate bounds, Drew went in an entirely different route. And if that wasn't bad enough, he urged Willow to use Michael Corinthos' misery against him while he lay powerless in the ICU. That was the point when many people realized there was no turning back. Drew had not only betrayed his family, but he had also demonstrated his willingness to manipulate events for personal benefit. Willow's redemption story, can she be saved? While Drew's actions have been appalling, Willow has not escaped this scenario undamaged. She was once regarded as one of Port Charles's more moral residents, but she has since become embroiled in a romance that has damaged her reputation. Unlike Drew, Willow may yet have a road forward. Unlike Drew, who appears to be double back on his faults, Willow was able to admit her flaws and take the necessary steps to make apologies. She isn't innately manipulative, nor does she seek power through dishonesty. Rather, she was caught up in a circumstance that spun out of her control. If she recognizes that her connection with Drew was based on fragile foundation and chooses to break away, she may begin to rebuild her image. However, if she allows herself to be further affected by Drew, especially if he continues to make decisions for her, she may find herself in even bigger trouble. The question of redemption, can Drew recover from this? Drew's downward spiral has made him one of the least likable individuals in Port Charles right now, and it's not easy to recover from. If he is to reclaim his former level of respect, he will need to put in a lot of effort. It won't be enough for him to simply end things with Willow, he'll have to accept responsibility for everything he has done. The first step would be to admit that he had crossed a line with Michael. Encouraging Willow to use Michael's misery against him was more than a slip of judgment, it was premeditated, and it demonstrated a level of cruelty that did not reflect the Drew that people had adored. Aside from that, Drew would need to stop treating Willow as if she needed him to dictate her decisions. His domineering manner in their relationship has been more than just unpleasant, it has been outright controlling. If Drew genuinely cares for Willow, he should encourage her to make her own decisions rather than leading her in the route that benefits him the best. But even if he succeeds in taking those steps, will it be enough? Drew's reputation is deteriorating not only among fans, but also throughout the community of Port Charles. At this moment, very few people still consider him trustworthy. Even those who formerly viewed him as an ally have begun to distance themselves. And it isn't just because of his romance with Willow. Drew's personality has changed so dramatically that it's difficult to identify him as the same man who once stood for something bigger. His self-interest has become his defining trait, leaving many questioning if there is anything left to save. Some have even claimed that his character may be beyond redemption, and that the only true path ahead is for him to face the repercussions of his crimes in the most permanent manner possible. The fatal whodunit theory, could Drew's story end in tragedy? With so many people turning against Drew, it's easy to see him being at the center of a fatal whodunit plot. Soap operas have a history of spectacular endings, and Drew's present trajectory suggests that someone may have had enough. After all, how many enemies has he accumulated in such a short period of time? Given Drew's manipulation of Willow, Michael would have plenty of motive to lash out. Nina Reeves may not like the notion that Drew has been holding secrets about their past, especially if that information is revealed in the worst conceivable way. Willow herself may reach a breaking point if she realizes how much Drew has been controlling her life. And if Drew does meet an unfortunate end, the real question is, who will be held accountable? Will Drew's storyline take a turn? If Drew decides to stay in Port Charles, he has just two viable options. He either needs a comprehensive redemption arc, one that compels him to face his faults, make restitution, and begin repairing the bridges he's burned, or he needs to fully embrace his demise. If the writers try to ignore his behavior and pretend it never happened, it will simply make his character more unlikable. But if they lean in, if they fully investigate the implications of his behavior and force him to battle to regain the respect of those around him, there may still be hope. However, given the current situation, that is a tall task. Drew doesn't seem to care about anything other than his relationship with Willow right now, and until something catastrophic happens to wake him up, he's on the verge of committing himself. The question is, will anyone be there to save him when he eventually crashes? The verdict, what does Drew Quartermain's future hold? Drew is currently regarded as one of the most disliked men in Port Charles, and for good cause. His metamorphosis from a man of integrity to a self-serving manipulator has been one of the most dramatic in recent memory, leaving many to wonder if he can ever be genuinely forgiven. If he continues along this path, he will undoubtedly face some unpleasant consequences, whether it is losing everyone he cares about, facing public humiliation, or becoming the target of a fatal conspiracy. But if he takes a step back, admits his flaws, and works hard to set things right, he might be able to go forward. For the time being, all eyes are on Drew, who must decide which road to take. General Hospital Spoilers Weekly Preview February 24th to 28th, Jason accused, will Joss admit murder? This week on General Hospital, Jason is in the PCPD's interrogation room. Diane wants to know who would frame him. Is Joss willing to confess to get Jason off the hook for Cyrus' death? The General Hospital Spoilers weekly video ad for the week of February 24th, 2025, has here. Discover what explosive circumstances will occur this week in Port Charles. Avoid getting on Stella's bad side by saying didn't do it. Clearly, she should never be underestimated. Last week, Curtis requested his auntie for help in keeping Drew from ruining his corporate life. Drew owns a minority share in Aurora Media, but he's ready to wreck the firm because Curtis makes the decisions. Stella appears to be ready to battle on GH this week. I think we have a way for you to take down Drew, she tells me. Meanwhile, Trina and Kai are working on an art project. Trina suddenly falls into Kai's arms. Is this the week Trina and Kai consummate their developing romance with a kiss? The two are planning a romantic moment later this week. When Jason is hauled into the PCPD, the promotional intensity escalates. He must have an interest in Cyrus' death. After yelling at Diane that he didn't do it, the attorney promptly asks him, "Who intends to frame you?" The first thing that comes to mind is that the WSB's attempt to cover up the murder scene must have failed because Cyrus' death is now public knowledge. Brennan may have planned this and is intentionally framing Jason, or the PCPD may have a natural suspicion that Jason is involved in the murder. After all, Jason had threatened to kill Cyrus in front of everyone at Charlie's. Meanwhile, Joss seems appropriately terrified. She rushes to the precinct to confront Anna. She's the one who killed Cyrus, and she can't allow Jason be blamed for what she done. "You need to do something." "He didn't do it," Joss says, to which Anna replies, "What makes?" "Are you sure? Is Joss about to reveal he killed Cyrus Renault?" Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.